you might notice they look basically the same, except that the one on the right has a small sticker on it. However, that small sticker is actually quite important. You can see it on the top right of the corner, and it says Fair Trade. This sticker is quite important because it actually signifies that this Kit Kat contains ingredients that have been sourced from a fair trade organization. Fair trade organizations have been helping farmers from disadvantaged countries for several decades now by providing them fairer labor rights and safer working conditions, and they have also allowed producers since 1998 to gain around $440 million in financial benefit based off the sales of their fair trade products. This is according to Fair Trade Certified's website on the impact of fair trade certification. So today I'm going to be talking about fair trade, the many benefits it has to offer, and why and how we can get involved in it, because it's a pretty simple process. So what is fair trade? Essentially, it's a movement that originated in the US in 1946 and migrated to European countries, specifically the UK, in around the 1950s, according to Michael Sarkaga's 2016 article on the history of fair trade. Initially, they started off with handmade crafts. However, the fair trade organizations later became more focused on other commodities such as coffee and chocolate. And as more fair trade organizations began to spring up around the world, they realized that they needed some way for them to be identified. And that led to the creation of the Fair Trade label by Mark Havelaar in 1988. Later on in the year, actually in 1989, the WFTO was formed, also called the World Fair Trade Organization. And this is basically just a network of nonprofit organizations that represent the fair trade supply chain. So there have been different interpretations of fair trade's mission and what they are trying to accomplish, according to several analysts. And Andrew Walton, in his 2010 article on what is fair trade, believes that it is a project that seeks to establish some form of market justice. However, Alex Nichols states in his article titled Fair Trade Towards an Economics of Virtue that fair trade intends to further the practices of ethical consumerism, which is essentially the idea that consumers are more willing to buy products as long as they carry some sort of social or environmental value to them. However, what fair trade basically does is that they set social, economic, and environmental standards for its workers by protecting their labor rights and ensuring that they have safer working conditions. And they also provide the workers with something called a fair trade minimum price, and on top of that, a fair trade premium that these workers can then use to invest in developing their personal communities. Fair trade also certifies that the goods that are produced meet their standards, and that ensures that these organizations will yield higher quality ingredients. And so the main reason why we should be buying into these fair trade products is because these fair trade organizations are directly supported by the products they sell, and without consumers, most of these farmers won't have the many benefits that these organizations have to offer. And so by purchasing these goods, we can directly have a large impact on the lives of these less fortunate laborers. Ricardo Fort, in his 2011 article on the impact of fair trade for coffee farmers in Peru, states that fair trade has positively affected the quality of life of all of these farmers. It has strengthened their local organizations, and it has improved farmers' overall well-being because of their fair trade premium that they are provided with. Some of these farmers have also decided to use the fair trade premium to further their education. And Ward Rubin, in his book on the impact of fair trade, which was published in 2008, conducted a study on a banana plantation in Ghana, where he observed a fair trade plantation and a privately owned banana plantation and compared the differences between the two in order to properly gauge how fair trade has affected these farmers. And he reported that the farmers in the fair trade plantation not only had to work fewer hours than the other plantation, but they also received more benefits on top of their salary. Also, because of these benefits, these farmers reported that they had a overall higher satisfaction with their jobs. And so there are a couple misconceptions about fair trade that may dissuade you from buying into these products. However, Patrick Say, in his 2016 article on things people get wrong about fair trade, clears up the majority of these false notions. Many people think that fair trade products are always expensive than non-fair trade products, similar to how organic foods are. But that actually isn't, that may have been the case several years ago, but since we've kept on expanding on it, the range for the products available currently are so vast that most of these products are competitively priced and a lot more affordable for consumers like us. Also, some people believe that only a small percentage of the price that we pay will go to the workers, but that's also a misunderstanding because the farmers don't receive a percentage. Instead, they receive a set price, which is what I was talking about earlier with the fair trade minimum price and the fair trade premium that they receive on top of that. So it's really simple for us to contribute to a good cause such as the fair trade movement and easily improve the lifestyle of the workers working in these organizations. And that's simply by looking for goods that sport the fair trade label on them. For example, products such as Kirkland's coffee, Ben & Jerry's ice creams, and retailers such as Trader Joe's and Whole Food markets will always have fair trade markets on their shelves. There are also a variety of other fair trade products such as bananas, tea, wine, and things like that. And actually, I found out this last quarter that our own university has a fair trade certified chocolate business called Cal Poly Chocolates, which you can actually purchase at the campus market. And I bought some for myself and my family back at home, and they're pretty tasty. And this was discovered on their fair trade website called Fair Trade Chocolates, which was published in 2012. And they also state that their enterprise is open to all majors who apparently all you need is an interest in chocolate and a interest in culinary management. So if you want to do something big and contribute to these farmers, all you have to do is something small and look for these labels, fair trade, and today you can help a farmer in need. Thank you.
Okay.